avoiding the now familiar dogfight only a few weeks ago, the Bees had slipped back into the relegation zone after a 3-2 defeat at struggling rivals Torquay. But there was added significance for Clem this time, as they welcomed Wycombe for their last ever game at Underhill. And who would have thought that on this occasion, the Barnet manager would be Edgar Davids?
And now, the end is near, and so I got to face the final curtain.
After 106 years, the final match on one of football's most famous slopes was always going to be a gut-wrenching, heart-rendering occasion. Having exhausted every avenue to stay in the area, it's 7 miles across borough boundaries in Harrow at their state-of-the-art training ground that Barnet will kick off next season.
The question is, of course, which division will they be in?
Bound for pastures new, but in familiar territory, despite their much improved form since the arrival of Edgar Davids. For a 4th season in succession, they are in it up to their necks and could even go down today. How do you cope with the strain and the pressure of it? How do you live with it, Tony?
Look at me. I haven't slept for 2 days. It's a new beginning. This is the end of for us, it's a change of an era now. So we want to get through this season, and it's a shame that what should have been a celebration today is being overshadowed by another relegation battle.
How's Edgar coping with it all?
Yeah, he's coping well. I mean, this is a completely new experience for the man, you know. I mean, we all know he's been one of the world's greatest footballers, but what a baptism for him as a manager.
He's sad about today? He's sad about it?
It's a tragic day, but, you know, a good day as well.
Every year we worry ourselves giddy that we're going down. Every year we just about pull it off. Yeah. But today really, hopefully, isn't about relegation.
I like to think that the players can forget about the history and the emotions surrounding the occasion and focus on getting 3 points to Barnet and keeping our league status. That's the critical piece of what we're about.
As any Bees fan will tell you, Barnet have made life difficult for themselves over the years, so this was a fitting send-off for Underhill. Jake Hyde went close as Barnet kicked downhill for the last time. It was the first half they dominated. Curtis Weston was kept out by Wycombe keeper Matt Ingram. In the second half, Edgar Davids took matters into his own hands, but couldn't break the deadlock either. Even so, you suspect the Dutchman will remember this match as one of the most extraordinary of his career. With 9 minutes to go, Hyde ensured that his name will go into the Barnet history books as the last man to score at Underhill. But when Tom Flanagan brought down Bruno Andrade in the box, that record was under threat, as was the Bees' Football League status. The 94th minute penalty was taken by Joel Grant, but Graham Stack guessed correctly to ensure that Barnet's League 2 destiny remains in their own hands.
We have a good shot of staying up, and we will fight to stay up. And if we have the same spirit as we had today, I'm confident that we can make it through.
I'll tell you what, it was no bum penalty either. You had to work to say that.
Oh, do you know what I've said to the boys all season? My record's been poor from pens, and they keep winding me up with a bus on the way to games. And I said to them, I'll tell you one thing, I promise you now, lads, I'll save one and it'll be a big one. And I'm true to my word. That was a big one there today.
Your reaction when that penalty was said, I'll tell you what, Graham Stack's getting a new contract, isn't he?
He's got one. He's just got one for 3 years. No wonder.
Every emotion possible.
Absolutely great. We mustn't get too carried away. So proud of everything they've done today. They fought hard, deserved their win. But we've got to go and get a result at Northampton. So
have a little sleep.
Just enjoy the moment.
So it's a big dramatic end to the final game at Underhill. I suppose for the romantics, they'll be sad to see the back of the ground, but for the players, I suppose they couldn't see the back of it soon enough.
No, they could. I mean, you have to stand on that halfway line to see just how much it does slope.
I was there earlier this season. It's a real reminder, if you haven't been there for a while, just how bad that slope is.
Yeah, and it always used to be a difficult place to go to, but for Barnet in recent season it hasn't been. No. And they've got to change that around. And it's a nice way to go, a great save by Graham Stack, and it'll leave a nice memory in those Barnet supporters.
And as we heard there, they've got to go to Northampton to get a result and stay up ultimately. And we saw recently, of course, York do it when they were rock bottom of the table. So obviously, it is possible.
Of course it is. Edgar's got in there. He went in there when they were bottom of the table. Obviously, he went with Mark Robson and has later taken over. But there's been an uplift in their performances. You can see that. But there's been an uplift in everybody else's performance. That's why they find themselves in the position that they're in. But they're used to it. They like going to the last game of the season. But let's hope they don't have to do it again.
Yeah, I'm sure the fans don't enjoy being used to it. That's for sure. Right, the rest of the action.